Hello again, internet people. I am back with you now to try and show Muffy's second attempt at Subq fluids. I want to apologize for two things in advance. One is that I probably need about 6 hands to film this video, but I've only got 2. So I'm gonna do the best I can to show you the setup process, and then if she jumps around the way that I'm expecting that she's going to at that point, once the needle's in, I'll go ahead and follow her with the camera so that you can see what's going on. Second thing I want to apologize for is that the lighting is probably going to go in and out weirdly a few times. It's going back and forth between being overcast or not outside, and my phone can't figure out what to do with that because I'm sitting directly opposite a window that has a metal reflective fence on the other side of it. So lighting is a bit weird. But none of that really matters to you guys because you are here to see what happens when you try to give a cat Subq fluids the second time when the first time didn't go so well. So where we're at right now is it's been about a week since our first video, or a week and a half. In that time, Muffy decided to get herself a pretty bad urinary tract infection. So she wound up being in the hospital for 3.5 days. But that actually bought us a little bit of time because I got my fancy new IV stand and I got the Easy IV harness. But Muffy is actually wearing the harness at the moment and you can't see her very well. There you go, there's a little better view. She is trying to groom it off of her. So what I'm gonna try and do, and let me see if I can fix this camera. There we go. Hopefully this doesn't fall down. So what I'm going to try and do is get the needle into Muffy, get the fluid started, and then I'll follow her around with the camera so that you can see what she's doing. As of right now, my line is already primed with warm fluids. My guide is approximately 100 degrees, about 99, 98 degrees when I finish warming it. So everything's basically body temperature, so hopefully Muffy won't hate that too much. This is a little different from our last attempt because this time I am using the gravity drip method. I will be using a 21 gauge, 1 inch long, ultra thin wall Terumo needle. The Terumos, if you've never done fluids before, are gonna be your best friend because they're the sharpest needles that you can buy. And they go in super quick, super easy. Hey kiddo, you wanna come over here and get some fluids? Hi. Of course, Muffy doesn't want any part of this. She would like me very much to leave her alone because I've been shoving antibiotics and meds down her throat all day. So she doesn't really want to participate in much at the moment. Hey kiddo, come here. I know. Do you want some of those? You didn't want snacks last time. Okay. Come here, kiddo. I know. Come here. Oh, I know. Come here. Come here, kiddo. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're such a good girl. All right, now that she is in a workable position, we can go ahead and get started. First thing I've got to do is attach this line to Muffy, which I have never done this before. So I'm learning right along with her and right along with you. You're okay, baby. But if you sit right there, I'm going to have a real hard time sticking you because I am not left-handed. Nope. Okay, come here, baby. Oh, come here. And then I'm just turning Muffy around because I'm not left-handed. And if I try to stick her left-handed, it'll go badly for everyone. Oh, I know. Is anything all the way? I can't tell. Okay. All right. So our line is in. I believe I have done this properly. So I'm going to turn the fluids on here and fluids are moving. Now let's make sure they're actually going into Muffy and not down the side. Are they going in, baby? And they are going in, so that's a good sign. Muffy is very, very angry about this. You can see the little angry tail flip, but we are doing okay. We are doing okay, baby. Yes, we're doing okay. And so everything appears to be going all right. The fluids are going a little bit slowly, so I'm gonna squeeze this bag, see if I can get it going a little faster here. Some of that is because I expected her to jump down to the ground, and she did not do that. So let me see here if I can raise this pole up higher instead. Get gravity working on my side. Right tight, left loose, but maybe backwards. Oh, Muffy. This is not going to go very fast, is it? I guess our solution for today, since I wasn't expecting Muffy to be laying down, is that, and I'm taking my IV pull apart. I guess our solution for today is that I'm gonna have to squeeze the bag to get the fluids to go faster. Assuming I can get my pole put back together so I can stop touching it. So, the fluids are hardly moving at this point because I expected Muffy to jump down onto the floor and she has instead stayed on the bed. So squeezing the bag is one way to get them going faster. And since Muffy has been obliging by standing still, that actually works pretty well for us. Because I'm not having to chase her around the room and you can see her on camera. So we'll just keep squeezing the bag and seeing where we're at. She's only probably had about 50 milliliters in at this point, and she does need anywhere from 100 to 130 by her size. We're gonna start with 100 just to see how she does as far as absorption goes, and then depending on how well this one does, we'll. Okay, baby. Oh, and there you go. So she has now jumped down, and as soon as I get unwound here, oops. Oh, sorry, having technical difficulties down here. Oh, you're okay, baby. Okay, so it turns out we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Muffy did jump down, and that part seemed to be fine when she jumped down off of her bed with the harness on, but then she got herself wrapped around the IV pole because I didn't move it quickly enough, and so she got the extra slack in the line for the harness caught around one of the wheels on the IV, so that actually pulled the needle out. So the needle would have stayed in had I been better about paying attention instead of talking to you guys. So looking at our total volume, it looks like Muffy only got about 50 milliliters of fluids in before I had to shut them off because they started spraying out the side. But that's really good for a second attempt, I think. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'm gonna probably come back and do this again later on this evening. Give her the rest of the fluids that she needs, because at a minimum she needs at least 100 milliliters, but ideally 130 based on her size. So that was our second attempt. Our third attempt, I'm not sure if I'm going to try and film it just because it's a little hard to keep track of the camera and her and everything that's going on at the same time. But that's where we're at. I forgot to mention, I am also going to put some links in the description for this video. So there's going to be some links for how to actually set up and use the Easy IV harness the first time. Since somebody else has already done a great video on that, I'm not going to bother repeating it. And I guess that's where we're at. So that was our second attempt. Went pretty well. Could have gone better. Could have gone a whole lot worse. So, you know, if your cat doesn't like the fluids the first time or the second time, just keep trying. Try some different things. See what works for you. See what works for them. Because there's going to be something out there. You just have to take the time to find it. In our case, we got to find it as quickly as possible because Muffy needs as much help as she can get if I'm going to keep her from going back into the hospital and going back on IVs again. But I hope things that work out well for you and for your cats. So if you're having trouble, if you're part of the feline kidney disease support group, there's tons and tons of tricks and tips. I always have a hard time saying that. Tricks and tips that are available through that group. There's also the Feline CRF website, which I'll have linked in the description, that has a lot of tips and things in there. So there's lots of resources. There's also lots of other YouTube videos out there. So just, you know, search around, find things, see if you can find what works for you. Muffy and I will obviously keep trying because she needs it. And I guess if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll try and answer as best I can. Thanks. Have a great day.